Yes, sir. I can't hear you. Dang.
What's up?
Yes, sir.
Back at it? Yeah.
Back at it. Fast break.
Fast break. Hey, man, I'm telling you, bro. Hey, just throw me the oop. I think I'm LeBron James. Let's get it, though, man. We get straight into it, man. I start off with a little prayer, man. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing Mike and I here for a quick, fast break, just with our audience and on lunch break, just to tap in and talk. Pray for ourselves as well. Amen.
Amen.
All right, bro. The first thing that I do want to bring up and that I do want to talk about, brother, is the Tiger Woods update with the new footage release. Have you seen that footage?
I have. And this one, it's just so unfortunate. I've been talking about it with a couple people. If you got, first of all, you're one of the richest athletes in the world.
Yeah.
Why are you driving, first of all?
Definitely.
You flipped over a car multiple times. Now I'm thinking you just like doing it, really.
Yeah.
Not really, but you know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you have a driver? And then bro is on the phone with Trump. If that's not the biggest flex in the world, he said, hold on, I was talking to the president.
Yeah. That's what he said. He said, "Oh, I was just on the phone with the president." But here, did you know that he's in a relationship with Donald Trump Jr.'s
Oh, you're right. You're right. I
So
forgot about that.
I was watching something about that today. I'm like, bro, I don't know if something, obviously they have a connection, but like those kids, because they have I guess this woman and then Donald Trump Jr. have like 5 kids in common. And one of the stipulations of Tiger Woods being with this woman, those kids aren't allowed to even get in a car with Tiger.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have that too.
Yeah, and exactly. And but like you just said, why are you still driving? And then from something else that I read, it said he doesn't feel like he has enough of a problem to where he can't drive. Hey, ding, ding, ding. You have a problem.
Yep.
Because if you're doing this continuously, flipping cars, falling asleep at the wheel, nodding out, but you're saying you don't have a problem, that's a problem.
As soon as you say you don't have a problem, you have a major problem.
A big problem.
So that's we're gonna pray for Tiger, but I'm really like, he's got to put 2 and 2 together, bro.
Yeah.
You can hire 20 drivers. You know what I'm saying?
Like
for every state, like 50 drivers.
Yeah, and literally because of the money. Like, think about what we were doing, what we did in Denver when we met that one dude. All it took was
boom.
And that was just 100, and he did whatever we asked him to, respectfully. Like, he was like, "Yeah, but I'm gonna take y'all around." So even if he didn't want to come inside, the man would be literally waiting outside.
Yeah,
and that was for $100.
Shout out to him for real, because now that we talk, like, just a little quick snippet on Denver. Literally, he was an Uber driver. We chopped it up with him. Really cool dude, and we were like, "Yo, just." Like, what's it gonna take for you to just be the driver for the night? Because we're drinking a lot and trying to be responsible. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to be behind the wheel.
Getting a DUI in Denver, Colorado, and we flew out there. So we
ain't going home.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tiger needs a driver. We're praying for him. Yeah. And so when he was in the car, he was sweating profusely, bro. So I don't know. Is that what pills can do?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Pills are gonna do that. You're not, because you're nervous. You either kabuka pills. They're gonna do that to you if you're nervous and you got that. You're in the back of the cop car. You know the show is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's another thing. You really are so. You could tell he was so impaired on like an opioid. To me, that straight up looked like an opioid. I'm sorry, I've experienced these things, unfortunately. So with the way he was drenching in sweat like that, and then the way that he's just nodding out. He's nodding out. And why I say there's nods. So that's the reason why nods, no hope on drug survivor. But there's a little humor. But there's a little humor to it, because yes, I would be nodding out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but that's a fact. But the way that you saw him in the back of I saw way more impairment in the back of that car than I did outside. what another thing that when you're on opioids with that heat, when that heat hits you, it affects you a lot different. Like so, then you might be able to control your symptoms like of nodding out or being real drowsy and stuff like that when you're in a better environment, like in a better climate and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But when you're in the back of that cop car and it's just hot, they're not putting no AC on you. It wasn't that hot for him to be sweating like that. That was because of substances in his body. I mean, this just is what it is, you know. So I want to continue to pray for him. But this is real life. So just like I sit here and I talk about that I battled with addiction for years and years and years, this man is a millionaire and is battling with the same thing. It's no different, and just has money. And even with the money, he's not utilizing it right because he's still out here driving. You know what I mean? He's out here flipping cars. And you called the president. I don't know if that was like, what did you call the president for? Like, hey, I just flipped the car again. I was wondering if you got one more of those pardons. Come on, bro.
Yeah, and this
that's what you need to do.
Immediately. And this is a clear. This is my last point on this. This is a clear sign that money does not bring you happiness.
No,
because you can have all the money in the world and still make mistakes like this.
Amen.
That literally, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So and have no peace at all.
No peace.
Hey, we're gonna get into our next topic because you know this is why we call it fast break. It's a little quicker thing. The next topic for me, I know Micah's gonna talk to it too. I just want to say, Pooh, what are you doing, Shiesty? What is going on, man?
Bro.
All right, so you go to the federal penitentiary for years. You lose, I don't want to say everything, but you got to understand when these artists go to jail and stuff like that, they lose a lot. You can't make no more money. Yeah. They're not as rich as what you think they are in the first place, right? A lot of that stuff is just they buy a persona it just goes with how the rap industry is, right?
Right.
But I don't understand when you get out, you want to get out the contract, right? Understandable. You want to get out the contract. But the way you go about it, I'm just trying to figure out when people are going to stop thinking gangster is cool. And I don't want to hear nothing about being raised like that. Yeah. Okay? And because that's the problem. What I was just talking about earlier. See, that's the problem. You might be raised like that, but you're not really seeking understanding. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You're seeking yourself understanding. Oh, I was raised like this, so this is why I do it.
Right.
Excuse. I don't want to hear that. Then you got people out here also talking about like, I see it with my own eyes on my posts, everything. You know what I mean? Yep. So I hope you don't feel that, but yes, I see it. Calling Gucci Mane a snitch at the age of 43 years old is crazy.
That's insane.
Stop talking like that, man. Because you know what? If you were a gangster and you saying stuff like that, yeah, you lost all credibility with me. I don't care what you did.
Immediately.
I don't care what you did in life. Because if you still think that Gucci Mane at 42 years old no longer in the streets, I don't care what he did in his past. If you still think that he's a snitch because he got robbed and stop, man. I don't want to hear nothing like that. You know what? I'm not going to put myself in that situation. How about that? But I know if you was in that situation, I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing. You probably never had a AK-47 Draco or nothing pointed at your head by these goons from Memphis, Tennessee. Yo, Pooh Shiesty, explain to me this, and I'm going to let you go, Micah. What is the point? Dan, I thought you're supposed to love your homeboys. You got out of prison to take them back with you. Make that make sense, man.
He must have been lonely inside. He must have been lonely there. So, literally, I agree with you. It really pisses me off because, all right, so Pooh Shiesty got signed by Gucci. Yeah. First of all, the only thing you should be doing is thanking the man.
Thank you.
He put you on.
Thank you.
Now, second of all, you want to get out your deal. I get it. Most artists want to get out of their first deal. You know why? Because he probably don't even know how much Gucci had to invest in him.
He had no financial literacy.
You know what I mean? When you have that background of just trying to be so gangster, so gutter, you know how hard to market that is?
Yeah.
Legitimately. Now, of course, unfortunately, we are in a society where they're promoting this gun violence, this black on black crime.
Yep.
Come on now, we gotta be better than that. Yep. And bro, Gucci did time already. Everybody knows what type time he was on when he was lost. Bro found himself, corrected it, and you try to drag him back in that.
Yeah.
Who would want to do that?
Yeah,
who would want to go back to jail for years? Literally. And like you said, it loses all credibility for anybody who's like, he's a snitch. And honestly, most people who saying he's a snitch never been in no kind of situation.
Never.
And if they were, we already know what they would do.
Immediately.
So
dimes. Yeah. And with the Pooh, like, so that's the thing. Pooh, guess who he was with too? His dad.
Come on.
His dad was with him when this happened.
Serious issue.
That's it. That sounds like it's, you get your daddy out there doing this type of stuff. You see what money do though? Because you know they got all this money. So you like, you know, when the money is power. It is what it is. All right. So Pooh Shiesty has the power. He's influencing these guys. Hey, let's go do this. But this is exactly why I'm not even gonna say black men. Young men in America don't know how to handle success. They don't. You get a whole bunch of money and you don't know how to handle success. It's not about how to handle the money. Of course, you have no financial literacy. So you're not gonna be able to handle. That's why you're trying to get out your first contract, because you didn't really read between the lines for real. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that was done in that contract that you didn't like, said it in that contract and you signed it.
You
get what I'm saying?
So like, what, you know, for anybody who thinks that Pooh Shiesty's in the right, you know, you really gotta take a hard look at yourself, and like, you know, and hopefully you don't have kids, because let's really think about it. What kind of image are you showing your kids that is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. It's
man,
crazy, bro.
And to call a man to a meeting and then pull guns. What are you, Suge Knight? This is not the 90s.
Oh, yeah, and you just got out,
bro. In the 90s, you could get away with, and I was a kid in the 90s, but obviously I watch a lot of documentaries. Not obviously, I watch a lot of documentaries. In the 90s, you could get away with stuff because nobody was posting stuff every day. No social media, no cameras everywhere.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was on pagers and stuff. So this is just ridiculous, honestly. And I'm really like I'm actually hurt from the whole situation because I really like Gucci's turnaround.
Yeah.
And he's still in his turnaround.
Yeah.
And he, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully, I don't care. He did the right thing. You pull guns on me and I'm not in that lifestyle, get out of here. Get out of here, bro.
Business here, man.
Get out of here, bro. You're not messing up my life and my business.
And I'm even mad that Gucci went online and tried to like explain.
Yeah.
Gucci, don't say nothing to these little boys,
bro.
Man. What is he
little boys, about, for real.
Yeah, like
for
little
real,
boys,
bro.
man. I'm gonna. So there, you know, I honestly, we said enough about that. We could talk about some more of that tomorrow. But from that, I'm gonna piggyback from rest in peace to that boy that they found in Caroline County.
Oh man, yo,
bro. Then you have 4 kids. So this is 5 kids. 4 kids that are gonna lose their life for the rest of their life to the system. So you don't got a life now. And then 1 kid that was killed, and they already saying the other body might have had something to do with it. But
they say
yeah, they do, and they say that. And I think it's so wild though that these kids are so young, and then for them to not explain to how they concealed the body. So the other body they found, so you know that's probably crazy. And then it goes back. This is not the 90s anymore. Yes, back in the day, you go to rural areas like that. You go to the country and you lose somebody. That's how they used to do it. That's why I always say about country people and people from the city. I feel like city people are scared of country people, for real. All right. So sometimes the country people usually use the resource of the city, but them city people are scared of the country people because the country people they'll lose you and they'll feed you to pigs and stuff. I'm being dead serious.
Nah, for real, bro.
Like literally just be a missing person for the rest of your life. Clearly, these kids were young. And like, you know, obviously whatever they tried to do to dispose of the bodies was just a young, dumb mistake. But it's so sad, bro, because these are all kids. And then you see the mugshot of the little girl and she's smiling. She doesn't even understand what she just got herself into. And if you're on the outside looking in, allegedly, it looks like you probably set the dude up.
Come on now. And I don't got too much to say on this because it's so sad. And all I'm going to say is they will probably listen to Pooh Shiesty. And that's why you don't want to listen to that kind of music.
Facts. Facts, man. All right, man. We're going to move on. Let's talk about the quadruple amputee claims self-defense. I heard his lawyer talking to the prosecutor earlier today online. He says that the victim was in the car threatening him and has a past history of abusing the quadruple amputee. Like he just goes around and abuses him. That's what they're making it seem. Like the dude Wells, the victim, was just a bully going around smacking around on the quadruple amputee, and the people behind him were like scared and were scared to do anything. So but they did say that there was a gun. I guess the dude Wells did have a gun.
Now,
so now I guess that was found in the car. Okay, but all right. So again, I'm trying to figure out a way to say this because everybody has it. Because that him having being a quadruple amputee doesn't make him any different than you and I. But with me not being a quadruple amputee, like how did that happen to where how did that happen to where he killed you before he? How did the quadruple amputee kill you before you were able to kill him? If you were trying to kill him,
exactly. And I got a couple things on this because this is really sad. So it's easy to say anything when somebody's dead.
yeah,
Because this man can't speak for what the situation was.
yep.
And so, two, you're telling me that he's been abusing you and you let him ride shotgun?
Real
Okay.
talk. Let's go.
You know
Keep
what I'm
going.
saying? You know what
Keep
I'm
going.
saying? This
Keep
person is
going.
abusing you. All right. And so, what if this person's abusing you? All right. Let's just say the narrative that they're making now is so easy to be sympathetic for the quadruple amputee
Yeah,
because they're painting this picture that I'm abusing this and that. No matter what, you had to turn and shoot the guy.
yeah,
You could have easily, hey, call the police, call, you know what I'm saying, call somebody.
yeah.
But you let somebody that's been abusing you ride shotgun, and now you're gonna claim self defense? Nah.
Well, and then the stories don't like add up from that anyways. Like because they said that when he shot him, the passengers in the back get out the car. Well, he tries to ask him to help them conceal the body, but the passengers get out the car and wave down the police, which I can understand if you're panicking right in that moment. I'm sure like you might not, even if it was self defense, you probably your next moves are probably not going to be your best moves because you probably never been in a situation like that before.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand that, but yeah, like even if he say I don't say it, this is how I want to know. How does self-defense work? Because it can be self-defense, but then leaving the scene, just like throwing the body out in the middle of the road, running to Virginia all the way to Charlottesville, you got to be held accountable for that, right?
Exactly.
I don't know though.
You have to be, and man, gosh, this is so crazy. Sheesh, I don't really know where to go with this other than that the the quadruple amputee has to be really held accountable for the whole situation.
Yeah.
And the people in the back, I personally think that whatever happened in the car happened. W amputee, quadruple amputee, honestly sounds like a smart guy and probably was like, hey, get out the car and we're gonna say it was self-defense. Y'all wave down the police, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it was truly self-defense, what and the dude's
Well,
already
why would you
dead.
do that? Yeah. Yeah, that's a fact though. Like, so if you truly, and like I said though, because somebody's probably never been in that situation before, but I would feel like if you have the common sense to understand, like, hey, what I just did was self-defense, like I would think, yes, you would go and you would stay there and talk to them. So yeah, he didn't, and that's what I did hear the lawyer say that. The lawyer was like, oh, well, he didn't make it easy. I know it made it look bad that he did all that. Yeah, it did. So, you know what I mean? Like, but that's what the lawyer's job is to do. The lawyer's job is to come in here and be a defense attorney. And his defense is that it was self-defense. And the difference is that, like you said, Wales is dead. This guy is alive. So he's going to be able to get these other dudes in his pocket too. I'm telling you. And because you never know, like you just never know unless this dude, like if he made a mistake, and ultimately we know that God is our judge. So regardless if he gets away with this or not, like this is how I always feel about these situations. All right. So regardless if if you did it in self-defense or not, God knows. You know what I'm saying? So that's between you and him on Judgment Day. But I just don't get it because he just must have been like one of the baddest mofos of all time. Because I don't know, man. First of all, you're nation ranked. You're one of the top cornhole people.
Right.
You a bad mofo. You ain't got no arms or legs, and you top cornhole in the nation. Facts. I don't care what anybody says.
That's crazy.
Then on top of that, you are living life like a regular human being. What I mean by that is you still have those leg things that you can run around. You're still shooting guns. You're still doing things. You're still being active. You get what I mean? Right. So, but that's the thing. In jail, they were like, oh yeah, the jail can't accommodate him, and they still haven't. They said they would, but they still haven't. They're not going to. Just because you're a quadruple amputee, that doesn't mean they're going to shut down the jail and remodel it.
Yeah, no, send him to Gym Pop immediately.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that. Send him to Gym Pop. Could you imagine him walking into Gym Pop though? Oh man.
Oh man, this was good. This is good. I do gotta run.
Yeah, bro. I
But
love you, bro. Hey,
bad,
we're
bro,
gonna have to come
love,
back.
bro.
Hey, look, I'm gonna hit you though.
All right.
All right, G.